Alright, so for the last 14 hours, I've been playing this MMO that was just released, I think, on Friday. It's currently yesterday of when I was recording this. Swords of Legends Online, a little bit of first impressions, it's kind of okay. The cutscenes I think are well done. I think they put a lot of effort into the art and the storytelling. However, it's an MMO and no one's gonna read or watch that shit, not gonna lie. I watched like maybe the first 5 for the benefit of this video, but after that, I haven't seen a single one. When you start off, you get to pick from 6 class types of, I guess, legends they are, maybe? 6 class types, we'll just go with that. And this little cute sequence, you know, meeting up with your friends, everybody's gonna go and do the trial or some shit. So once that happens, it's really just cut and dry there. That was about the 5th cutscene, I think, and after that, I feel like it's kind of lost in the wind. The story isn't really hard to follow, but for most MMO players, there is no story at all. The HUD is big and confusing as shit, so the first thing I did was minimize and increase the opacity, or increase the translucency. Is that a word? All the objectives of the game are kind of laid out for you, just like a typical MMO. I don't want to be blunt or anything about this, but it's kind of just another MMO, really. I haven't played a lot recently, but from what I can remember, this MMO is just like the rest. Of course, there's a new story, and the fighting style, I guess, is kind of different with the 6 different classes. They all have different abilities and different passives. They're all useful in different ways. On the plus side of that, too, is that there's teeny bits of story that are different for each class, which is, like, cool, I guess. I'm unsure of what the level cap or what prestiges are, but the game can take you to, I think, the highest level just by doing the quest you come across. There's no gacha aspect, there's no pay-to-win aspect, it's kind of just chill and grind. Unlike most other MMOs, most of which are free, you would have to come on a different day or come on weekly to get that XP boost, which is something I like about Swords of Legends and probably other paid MMOs, is that you can play for as long as you want without having to stop and wait until you regen whatever object you need to get XP. The gameplay is somewhat fluid. It's not exactly clean and precise. There are little wonky movements sometimes, but for the most part, the combat, which is what you'll mostly be doing, is pretty solid. There are times when the NPCs or the mobs will get in your way, and there are times really when they're just not doing shit for some reason. It's kind of weird, it's either hit or miss on most times. Stepping aside from all the gameplay stuff, the graphics were probably the least favorite thing about this game. They're kind of basic. Even with max settings in the game, the textures and models will still look a little fake. I don't think that's the fault of the devs or anything in particular. I think they kind of made a choice on whether or not to make the game runnable or make the game beautiful. You can get some pretty cool pictures. They've got a really nice picture mode, and they have some filters that I don't know if I will ever use, but I think that's a cool addition and very helpful. They also have a filter for your regular gameplay, which I thought was different. I don't think I've ever seen that in another game. There are about 5 different color scaling, and then I think you can create your own custom scaling for the gameplay. It can get pretty hectic sometimes. You can make your game look like you are on acid, I think. Well, everyone, that will be it for this week's episode. I feel like it would be too early to rate this game, seeing that it just came out, like, on Friday, almost 4 days ago. Something like that. I can't math right now. Maybe in a future date I'd be able to rate this, but seeing that it just came out, it's still on version 1.00x or something, I think it's still got a lot of room to grow, and most things will have to change, like having one US server. But I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Check back in next week for another Watermelon rating.
Time on my own. Don't go outside, locked up in my room. Life switched up, don't know where to go. After all this time, you're still in my phone. Traded so much time and got so far. Like things ain't changed, stuck at the start. Gave it my all, but had to save me from myself.